Justice and Legal Affairs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the vetting of nominees for appointment as chairperson and members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 25(2)(b) of the Constitution, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. Number 1, Mr. Erastus Edung Ethcon, chairperson. Number 2, Ms. Anne Jerry Nderitu, member. Number 3, Mr. Moses Alutalala Muhwana, member. Number 4, Ms. Mary Karen Sorobit, member. Number 5, Mr. Hassan Nur Hassan, member. Number 6, Mr. Francis Othiambo Aduol, member. And number 7, Ms. Fahima Arafat Abdallah, member. Honorable Speaker and members, the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee held approval hearings for nominees to be appointed as moved on Saturday, a weekend. This was due to the fact that there was urgency in the matter due to the timelines and also the delay that had been caused by the court order that barred the vetting of the members the previous Monday. As a result, the committee had to burn midnight oil and also spent the entire day first evaluating the report of the selection panel and conducting the hearings physically, whereby all the 7 nominees appeared before the committee and were actually vetted. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to thank members of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, all of them singularly and plurally, including the Vice Chair, the Honorable Mwengi Mutuse, who is here, Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo, who is here. I saw Dahoud Mohammed of Wajir East here, Johnny Makali of Kandui, Stephen Mogaka of West Mogirango, and the rest of them. All of them, as named in the report, played a key role in actually vetting these members and making this report, which was tendered to this House yesterday, an elaborate report. It's a bit long, but I hope every member has had a chance to read this report, to acquaint himself or herself with it, so that you know the reasons why the committee has made a recommendation that we approve the 7 nominees. The report begins with the chairperson's forward, in which observations are made, including compliance with the Constitution, the reasons why this was done on a Saturday, and the position we take regarding the court order that stopped vetting on the 26th of May. That indeed it appeared on the face of it that the courts were barring or injuncting Parliament from carrying its duties. We took exception to that and pointed out that Parliament and the Speaker and the Speakers have ruled on this severally, cannot be injuncted from discharging its constitutional mandate. Be that as it may, this is a house of law. We obey the law as it is. Before we could evaluate the order, we had to obey first. Then after that, we had to evaluate what to do. And fortunately, the judge actually realized the mistake made. And on that Thursday, he was able to vary the order to what it is in the present form today. The first, chapter 1, which is the preface on the establishment of the committee, is self-speaking. Chapter 2, which is on the background information of the committee and the nominated members, is also self-speaking, and I will not go into this for purposes of saving on time. Chapter 3 is on the memoranda from the public on the suitability of the nominees, and we need to speak on this because there were various issues that were raised by several members of the public, and those issues are captured in chapter 3 of the report. On each member where there was any objection raised, we have not captured the approvals because we also received quite a huge amount of paperwork which were affidavits in approval. But since we are not required to consider these and table reports on them, because we are only required under the Approvals Act to discuss the objections, we did not capture the approvals. However, we have captured the objections as raised before the committee, and in chapter 3, the House can actually look at what was said about each. I will be commenting on this shortly. And number 4, it's on approval hearings. We have tried to capture this almost verbatim, what each of the nominees presented to us, right from their own opening statements, whereby they gave a history of themselves, and eventually we had to look at their academic background, experience in the works or in the various fields, and suitability, which is a requirement of the law when it comes to vetting. We looked at all this, and it is captured in chapter 4 of the report. Chapter 5 Chapter 4 is quite lengthy because I repeat, it captures almost verbatim what the nominees had to say, including their responses to the objections. Now, chapter 5, which is very important, is on our observations regarding the nominees, our committee observations on the nominees. We have observed whatever it is we took of interest and importance. We have set it in chapter 5 on each of these nominees, and chapter 6 is actually on our recommendations. Having evaluated these particular nominees, we did not hesitate to recommend that each of them be actually approved. Now, who are we approving as the nominees? For the chairperson of IEBC, we have Mr. Erastus Edung Ethekon. Who else from Turkana? Number 1, he was one of the 2 persons who were forwarded to His Excellency the President for nomination, and he was picked from those 2. Then, as regards the process of nominating him, we were satisfied that the process was in compliance with the Constitution and in compliance with the Parliamentary Public Approvals Act. Mr. Ethekon demonstrated knowledge of his area of specialty, which is law, and that he satisfies to be a judge of the Supreme Court, which is a requirement for his appointment. He has more than 15 years of practice, and he also has a lot of experience in other matters, including conflict management, which we think is very important, and especially because of the disputes that arise after elections. There was an objection to Mr. Ethekon's appointment on the basis that he is closely related to the governor, to the former governor of Turkana, Mr. Josephat Nanok. This was in a sworn statement, and therefore we had to deal with it. On the interrogation, Mr. Ethekon confirmed that he has no relationship whatsoever with Mr. Josephat Nanok, apart from work-related relationship. That At one time, he was appointed as the county attorney of Turkana, and he worked with Mr. Josephat Nanok. Even after Mr. Josephat Nanok left office, he continued working with the governor who is presently in that office, and therefore work-related relationship cannot be a bar to his becoming the chairperson. Otherwise, he demonstrated knowledge of electoral matters, he demonstrated knowledge of law, and he actually confirmed that he has the spine to deal with elections in the Republic, which are ordinarily very emotive. With those remarks, we are convinced that he suits to actually be the chairperson of the IEBC. The second person was Ms. Anne Jerry Derito, who currently is the registrar of political parties. She has worked for over 10 years with the IEBC, where she rose to become a director. Therefore, in our view, we actually termed her as an insider, a person who knows how IEBC works. There was an objection to her nomination on the basis that she is a state officer. The person who objected stated that the appointment was contrary to the law because she is a state officer. And unfortunately, the law is clear, which is that you cannot be appointed when you are a state officer. The word used is appointment and not nomination. She was able to clarify to our satisfaction that she has not been appointed, she has only been nominated. The third person is Mr. Moses Alutalala Muhwana. Mr. Muhwana, who actually is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya with over 11 years experience. On top of that, he has been a teacher for a long time, amongst the many other things he has done. What struck the committee with satisfaction was his ability to communicate. Mr. Muhwana is a good communicator, especially when he started giving us his journey through life in Kiswahili. Eventually, he answered our questions in English. He is able to speak both languages in a manner that he will be able to relay matters of IEBC to the country when the time comes. So, to him, the gem he takes to IEBC is that of communication, and I hope he will make use of it, because the one reason Kenyans have a problem with IEBC, the trust issues we have with IEBC, is purely because communication is not as good. We want to hear what is happening at every step of everything, including awarding of contracts, so that nobody feels we are being shortchanged or somebody is trying to do things under the table with a view to delivering elections that are not credible, fair, and justifiable. Mr. Muhwana will fit that shoe so well. The fourth candidate was Mary Karen Sorobit, another advocate of the High Court of Kenya, who came in with experience from many institutions of the government, including the Advocates Complaints Commission, vetting of judges, and many other areas that she has served in for the last almost 20 years as an advocate. Mary Karen suits the position. We felt that as a lady again, she also gets now into the gender equality, which is very important, and also as a person from South Rift, then again, regional balance is achieved. The fifth person was Mr. Hassan Nur Hassan. Hassan Nur Hassan has worked in the public service for over 40 years. Although today he is not working with the public service, he has great knowledge in the matters public. He has great knowledge in the matters dispute and conflict resolution, as he demonstrated. In fact, due to his age, we said the rest of them are young. We require somebody of his age to guide the commission when the time comes. Therefore, in spite of objections raised to him, and there were many, including that he had been in the Rift Valley when there was the clashes, he was able to show that even when he was there and the clashes clashes occurred, he was able to quell them, he was able to resettle these persons, and peace was restored. There was an objection to his relationship with a member of parliament. We will not discuss that much, apart from he is a brother-in-law to the member of parliament. Anything else was not material in the objection, because, as we have said, he is a senior citizen. In fact, his response was that he was where he is even before that member of parliament was born. So it is coincidental that one of them is married to the sister of the other, which does not affect, it does not impair his way of delivering results when it comes working for IEBC. With those reasons, we were convinced that his relationship to the member of parliament was actually not material to the way he was going to discharge his duties. Number 6 was Mr. Francis Othiambo Aduol, a gentleman who has worked in the universities ever since time immemorial, with an advanced age, which we also felt was extremely useful for this commission. Number 1, he has great experience in quantity surveying, geospatial engineering, and many other matters he brought before us. He struck the nation because they were listening to him as a person who is highly knowledgeable in matters relating to the earth and the way you can subdivide the earth. All of you are looking forward to having constituencies delimited. And here is one person who is able to match the size of the constituency with the number of persons so that we are able to arrive at a fair and just decision. Therefore, Mr. Francis Aduol is suitable to be a member when it comes to exactly what Kenyans expect, which is fair representation on the basis of constituencies. We did not hesitate to approve Mr. Francis Othiambo Aduol to become a member of the IEBC. Finally, there was a young lady who came from a place called Shela in Lamu. Young, she's 32 years old, and the first impression she created was that of a youth. Therefore, youths who have been extremely agitated, they have been anxious, they have been complaining that they do not get involved in such important matters like electoral matters, IEBC, etc. Now have one of their own in this particular commission. So, Ms. Fahima represents the youth.
There is a point of order.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I have heard the able chair of this committee refer to this lady, Fahima, and use the word, she created the impression of being a youth. I thought you'd say she is a youth. That impression, that statement is misleading. So, and because we are on the floor of the House, can you correct that and say she is indeed a youth?
Murugara, did she create an impression or she's a youth?
Oh, she is a youth. Yes. She is actually a youth,
yes,
as required in law.
Yes.
All right? What the impression was, being 32, when she actually appeared with us, she was in her 20s. Otherwise, she's 32 years old, extremely knowledgeable. No.
That is not a qualification.
That is not a point to be considered, Honorable. Although Honorable Farah kept on constantly repeating that one, and some members found it quite curious. When he gets a turn to speak, he will possibly speak on it. But this young lady has worked ever since she left.
Yes, Honorable Farah.
The Honorable Chair is casting aspersions on me. He doesn't know that my wives are watching this now. And he wants to land me in problem when I go back home. So
he's saying you have roving eyes.
Eh?
You have roving eyes.
Thank you, Honorable Farah. The operative word is wives. The wives are watching, not wife. However, he observed it, and let him just tell us something about it. This young lady has worked right from her days after university with Lamu County. She has been a ward admin. She has risen all the way today. She is the CECM finance in that county. So when we evaluated her, she actually met all the parameters that were required. Number one, she's a youth, we repeat. So the youths of the Republic of Kenya are taken care of. And they should not complain again that we, the elderly gentlemen or gentle ladies, are actually avoiding them when it comes to matters important as this one. Number two, she is a lady because she cannot be anything else. Gender. So the ladies have produced a youth who will represent the youths, both the men and the women. And this is extremely important. Number three, she's from a small community. Although by uni, she's a Shela, a small community in Lamu, not very developed, marginalized to some extent, but she has actually been able to rise to that important position. And number four, the education. She holds a degree from the university, Kenyatta University. She has worked in senior positions, and she has demonstrated she is able to deliver. And our question was this: can she stand up and defend IEBC when it is under attack, especially by the youth? She demonstrated that she will be speaking directly to the youths. Matters IEBC. When they issue, when they are questioned, when there are questions to be answered, she will be speaking to the youths directly so that they can hear her and understand her. So, with those very many remarks, we looked at every one of them. We were satisfied that they suit the nominations given to them, and we did not again hesitate to approve all of them. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, allow me kindly to beg and move and then request the senior counsel in the House, with the permission from my vice chair who is here. Yeah, these days, you know, we are broad-based, and we have to be broad-based everywhere. With my vice chair who is here and is listening attentively. The senior counsel is no other than Honorable Otiende Amolo, the Member of Parliament for Arienda, who sat throughout, listened to these people writing the reports and everything else. Senior counsel, kindly, Mr. Speaker, allow me so that he seconds. Thank you very much.